Alright, so here's our next example. We're going to be looking at perpendicular lines through a point given on a line. And as you can see here, I have a line segment and with a point on it, and the idea is to find a perpendicular line that goes through that point. So it has to be perpendicular to this one and goes through that point. And remember, perpendicular means that these two lines are going to meet at a 90-degree angle. So this is going to take a few steps. So I trust you know where the pause button is and that you'll hit the pause button when necessary. So just follow through slowly as we go. I've got two examples here to go through. Alright, so this is the point we want to be perpendicular to, or perpendicular at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my center of my circle. In fact, I should label everything, always label things. I'm going to call this point A. I'm going to put the center of my circle on A. And then I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to keep it kind of smaller this time. And I'm just going to draw a circle around that point. Any circle works. You don't want to go too big, but you also don't want to go too small. So here I have a circle around the point. You'll notice I made sure to keep it on the line so that I have intersecting points here and here. And I'm going to go ahead and label those. Again, you can label these whatever you'd like. I'm going to call this point B and this point T. And the next thing I need to do is draw two more circles, but I'm not going to draw the whole circle this time. In fact, you didn't really need to draw this whole circle if you didn't want to. You could have, to keep things a little cleaner, you could have just drawn those two intersecting points. Just make sure you show me those compass marks as we're moving along here. Alright, next thing we need to do, we need to draw another circle with the center on B, but it needs to go past the point A. Okay, again, I want to get a perpendicular line through A here. So I'm actually going to jump over to my bigger circles, but not too big. If you want to, you can go all the way out to point T if you want. It doesn't matter to me. So why not just do that? We'll start again, center on B, and circle out to T. Now I'm going to draw just a semicircle, not the whole thing. Now remember this spot. Okay, that's the third dot here on the inches side, so make sure we're following that through. I'm going to move my center over to T and draw that same circle. Okay, so again, I'm going to kind of turn my paper so I get the right angle on this. I'm on my third dot here. In fact, you should be able to reach B at this point, and then we're just going to draw that semicircle again, okay? And you'll notice we have two more intersecting spots, here and here. Let's put a dot on those and label those. Again, whatever you'd like to label them, as long as it's not B, A, or T. We call this C and, I don't know, M. We're going to draw a line from C to M, and that should go through the point A. If it does not go through the point A, we have done something wrong and we need to back up the video and follow along. Okay. So what we've constructed here is a perpendicular line that goes through the point A, and it is perpendicular to the line that was given. So let's show how we can use our notation to write this out. Okay, again, it's all about being perpendicular through the point A. So let's say this. Let's say the line segment BT, that is perpendicular, and you guys might remember the perpendicular symbol, to CM. And that is how you find a perpendicular line through the point A. Okay, so why don't you go ahead, you can actually draw your own line segment and just put a point randomly on it and do it yourself. I have another example right here that I'd like to take you through just in case we didn't quite get it on that first one. I've slanted this one slightly, and I've moved the point kind of closer to the middle point. Okay, so first things first, take the center of your compass and draw a circle on this point. Again, remembering to label all our points. I'm going to label this one Z, just to show you I can use whatever letters I want. Place my center on Z, draw a circle, make sure it hits your line so that you have an intersecting point here. Use that same circle to come around here. Again, I'll draw the whole circle lightly, but the most important parts are where it's intersecting lines. Let's call this one A and this one B. Alright, now we're going to take our center of my compass, put it on A. I'm going to go ahead and just go out to B, draw another circle, just a semicircle. Again, I'm only making the parts that are important dark. That was my fourth dot here. So if I bring that around to here, I should still be using that fourth dot. But bring my center over to B. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should hit A. Good. Got an intersecting point there, and an intersecting point there. You'll need to label these points whatever you would like. You can go C and D, and then draw a line segment from C to D. Again, this line segment should pass through Z. If it doesn't, we've messed up somewhere and we need to start over. Okay, let's mark the 90-degree angle because it is perpendicular. And let's use our notation now to say that the line segment AB is perpendicular to CD. And that's how you do it. Alright, so at this point we've seen two examples of perpendicular lines through a point. If you're still struggling, you can continue watching this example. But if you think you got it, you can go ahead and go to your worksheet and work on problems 5, 6, 7, and 8. Or you can check how you did problem 5 with the one I'm doing here, although there are many ways to approach these problems. So here we go. Again, I have a point here. The instructions say to construct a line segment perpendicular to the segment given through the point given. So I almost need to construct a perpendicular line like this, but making a guess isn't going to be good enough. So we're going to use a compass and a straight edge to do it. Again, it says that make sure to label all your points. So let's label the first point given. I'm just going to go ahead and label it A. And then I'm going to start by drawing a circle around A. I'm going to go ahead and draw a bigger circle this time. Again, the points that are important are this one and this one over here. You can draw the whole circle, but you don't need to. Okay. The important parts are where they intersect here and here. Let's label those really quick. I'm just going to go in the order of the alphabet now. This is A, so I'm going to call this one B, and this one's C. Okay, once I have that, I'm going to take my compass, put it on the center on C, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a line all the way out to B. Looks like this one right here has an arrow pointing to it. Again, mine does, yours might not, so you might need to count out how many circles that is there. So I'm going to draw a semicircle, and that I can either remember that number, or I can just move this over to B, kind of swing this around here. This is the dot I was using. I'm interested with that one. I can also come around this way and get that part right there. You notice I didn't have to finish the circle. The 2 points that I'm more concerned about are this one right here where these intersected and where these ones intersected. Let's label those. I have A, B, and C, so let's move on to D here and E here, and draw that perpendicular line from D down to E. And if it doesn't go through A, then you didn't do a perpendicular line through the point given. You may have done a perpendicular line, but not through A. Okay, so let's get the notation down now. got a perpendicular line. Let's note that here. Be the 90-degree symbol. And then also say that this line segment here is perpendicular to this line segment here in notation. So that's line segment CB, C to B, is perpendicular to DE. And that's how it's done, fellas.